The Department of Justice started hearings this week on its investigation of the Chicago Police Department. The first hearing held this week, last night, at Kennedy King College, and quite a few people were upset, including the mother of a child whose son was shot by police. Let's listen to what she had to say.
I was terrified when I said the police. I don't know why I should get down and crawl like a dog, or just be a woman or be a human being. You all know what's going on. Stop it. Stop it. We all human beings. Stop it. Save us. Please help us. Can anybody help us?
The Department of Justice got quite an earful in Mays. Why are these hearings important?
I fundamentally, I think they are to let the air out of the balloon. I don't know how effective that these Justice Department hearings are, and I don't know how necessarily credible they are to representatives of the community. I think they are great opportunities to blow off steam, but will they affect structural change? I don't know. I think it gives the mayor some cover, and I think it gives all of the police some cover, but I'm not really confident that this is going to be. I think they've got some significant credibility issues in general.
Can we expect some changes, some profound changes out of the Department of Justice investigation here, Angel?
So the problem is probably it is huge, and I think probably not. And here's why. I think when we look at what needs to be done, and no one talks about this, is police immunity laws. So that's something that legal minds can talk about. How can we change that? But nobody talks about police immunity laws. And number two, the union. So unless we make changes with the police union and with immunity laws, everything else is just around the edges. So there's some very big things that have to change. The Justice Department may help, but until we talk about immunity laws and changes in the police union, it'll be very difficult to have any real change.
So we've seen this in other cities where the Department of Justice has come in, issued a series of consent decrees forcing police departments to make changes. What do they need to do here in Chicago?
Well, I think that some of the recommendations that the mayor heard from this community policing task force were very loud and clear, and that's the complete elimination of IPRA as it stands today.
This is the Independent Police Review Authority.
Yes, sorry for the acronym. Yes, and you know, transparency with a capital T. You know, I agree with Mays. It's a great way to blow off steam, but I don't think this goes away. I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, communities, we are at a grip. People are fearful, and this is touching everybody, right? I mean, folks who are not just on the south or west side, not just people who are black and brown who have been personally touched, but people care that children, right, that teens are not safe. And I don't think this goes away.
This week, the city of Chicago put almost 100 new police officers out on the street. Mays, drop in the bucket or something meaningful?
I think it's a drop in the bucket, but I think if we're really going to talk about meaningful change, I really think we do have to talk about the culture. The police culture. I think just dropping more police into neighborhoods doesn't necessarily help us if there's no community understanding and there's a community disconnect. And I feel like that's fundamentally what's happening. What I think we've got to do is really look at the merit system and look at the promotions and look at who's in those middle management jobs. You see all this focus on the commanders and at Eddie Johnson, but we really have to look at the sergeants and the lieutenants, and how are we getting the right people into those spots, because those are the people that are going to make the everyday decisions that will not allow these things to happen.
We've seen the new superintendent, Eddie Johnson, get out in the community more. We're seeing these meetings in the precincts. Angel, do you sense a real difference between Johnson and his predecessor or not?
Well, I think there has to be a difference. I think he's trying. I think he knows he has to get ahead of it. Post video. Laquan. Obviously, things have changed, and obviously, we have to go into community, and the police have to do that. Now, will that make any real change? I think you're correct. When we look at how do people get promoted, that still comes down to the unions. When we look at releasing data of police officers who have been accused of wrongdoing, it's the unions that say, well, after 1 year, 2 years, we're not letting that go. You're not going to know that. So there's some structural changes that need to be done. I think they're trying, obviously. I'm just concerned that it's not going to be enough.